CIET NCERT presents audiobook Khel Yatra, textbook of physical education and well-being for grade 7.
Page 153, Unit 6, Yoga. There is a QR code at the beginning of this page. Clicking on the QR code will take you to more information about this chapter. Yoga is an ancient practice designed to harmonize the body and mind. This unit will introduce and guide you through yoga for holistic development, emphasizing the practical application of the 8 limbs of yoga to achieve both physical health and mental well-being. We will explore how consistent yoga practice can foster self-awareness, discipline, and ethical conduct, ultimately empowering students to become more responsible and compassionate individuals. Page 154, About Yoga. In the grade 6, we learned that the word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to join, or to unite, or to integrate. It is the union of body, mind, and the inner self. Yoga brings balance, harmony, and a sense of oneness within us and the world around us. Yoga helps us to grow in many ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. Practicing yoga regularly builds a stronger body, a calmer mind, and more balanced emotions. This inner harmony helps us to become better students, loyal friends, responsible family members, and citizens of the nation. It is necessary to maintain a consistent yoga practice to handle life's challenges with balance and focus. Each section in this unit will enhance your understanding and practice of yoga. We will start with an introduction to yoga for holistic development, then learn about yama, niyama, and their applications in our daily lives. Sukshma Vyayama, joint movements. Shithalikaran Vyayama, dynamic practices. Surya Namaskara, asana, postures, relaxation, mudras, kriyas, pranayama, regulation of breath, pratyahara, mastery over senses, dharana, concentration, dhyana, meditation, and Krida Yoga, yoga games. Page 155, Yoga Session Structure. Begin your yoga session with the prayer given on the next page. Through this prayer, we honor the bond between students and teachers. Together they ask for divine guidance, protection, and wisdom. They also wish for peace for everyone, everywhere. General instructions to begin and end a yoga session. Point 1. Sit comfortably in Sukh Asana with your spine, neck, and head straight. 2. Close your eyes, relax your face, and bring your awareness to your breath. 3. Place your hands in Chin Mudra. Observe your breath for a few moments. Then take a deep and slow breath as you exhale. Gently chant Om. 4th, gently place your hands in Namaskara Mudra and chant prayer given in the following page. 5. Notice how you feel after chanting Om. 6. Gently rub your palms together, place them over your closed eyes, and then slowly open your eyes to the warmth of your hands. Page 156. Opening Prayer.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः.
May we both, Guru and Shishya, be protected. May we both be nourished. May we practice with great vigor and energy. Let our studies be fruitful and enlightening. May we not hate each other. After the opening prayer, follow the session planned for various yogic activities. These activities include Yama and Niyama, Sukshma Vyayama, Shithlikarana Vyayama, Asanas, Pranayama, Pratyahara, relaxation, Dharana, Dhyana, and Krida Yoga, and each yoga session with the closing prayer given below. This prayer helps students absorb the knowledge and reinforce the day's learning in a positive and joyful way. Closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukbhav Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Meaning of the prayer. May all be happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is auspicious. May no one suffer. Let there be peace everywhere. Page 157. Chapter 1. Yoga for Daily Life. In this chapter, we will explore different ways to integrate yoga into our daily routines. To incorporate yoga into our daily routine, it is necessary to practice yoga in action, Karma Yoga, as taught by Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita defines yoga as Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam 2.50, which means yoga is skill in action. This means doing our tasks in a relaxed and focused way to get the best results. Think about a Kho-Kho player. They are not just running fast, they are also incredibly calm and focused. Even when the game gets intense, that is a lesson for all of us. Whether we are studying, playing a sport, or learning a new skill. It is not just about working hard and stressing out. It is about staying calm, focusing our attention, and truly enjoying the process. Sri Aurobindo highlights that yoga is about overall personality development at the physical, mental, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual levels. It is about growing in all areas of life. Imagine a big tree. For it to be strong and healthy, all its parts, roots, trunk, branches, and leaves must grow together. Similar to this, we must grow in all facts of life to achieve balance and strength. How can we grow in different aspects and achieve holistic development? Yoga helps us understand the connection between our body, mind, and inner self. Similarly, in Panchkosha, explained in the Taittiriya Upanishad, talks about the 5 layers of our existence, much like the layers of an onion. Page 158. These layers are body, energy, mind, wisdom, and bliss. Various yoga techniques help nurture each of these layers, enhancing our overall well-being. Let us understand each kosha and its role in holistic development. The Panchakosha framework helps us understand ourselves better. It gives us insight into both our inner and outer worlds, helping us become more self-aware, empathetic, and purposeful. There is an image at the middle of this page. The image depicts a human figure, each layer represented in different colors, visually moving from the outer physical form to the innermost spiritual core. It illustrates the 5 koshas in yogic philosophy, which represent the different layers of human existence. First, Annamaya kosha, physical sheath. Second, Pranayama kosha, energy sheath. Third, Manomaya kosha, mind sheath. Fourth, Vijnanmaya Kosha, wisdom sheath. 5th, Anandamaya Kosha, bliss sheath. 1st, Annamaya Kosha, physical sheath. This is the outermost layer, which is our physical body, the part we can see, touch and feel. It's made from the food we eat. Playing sports, running, eating healthy food, occasional fasting, living with nature and sleeping well are the ways to make us healthy. Yoga postures help strengthen and balance our physical body. Just like a plant needs water and sunlight to grow, our body needs food, exercise and rest to stay healthy. Page 159. 2nd, Pranamaya Kosha, energy sheath. Our bodies have layers, and the one just under our skin is called Pranamaya Kosha. This layer is powered by prana, our life energy, which we get from breathing. Prana is like invisible rivers inside us, helping our lungs, heart, and everything else to work together. Breathing connects us to the air and the earth, giving us energy. We can strengthen our prana with special exercise like pranayama, mudra, and kriya, helping us feel strong and healthy. 3rd, Manomaya Kosha, mind sheath. This layer is about our thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. It is where our emotions and desires come from. It includes what we think, how we feel, and how we react to things. Activities like meditation, mantra chanting, jap, listening to music, singing, painting, and trataka, focusing on a point, help refine this layer. A calm mind helps you solve problems, stay focused on tasks, and handle challenges easily. When you feel happy or sad, it's your Manomaya Kosha experiencing those emotions. 4th, Vijnanmaya Kosha, wisdom sheath. This layer helps us distinguish between right and wrong, good and bad. It is responsible for decision making, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Wisdom from this sheath helps us make the right choices, making us better students, friends, family members, and responsible citizens of the nation. It also helps us understand our strengths and weaknesses and discover our life's purpose. When we learn something new at school or figure out what's right and wrong, it is our Vijnanmaya Kosha at work. Think of it as the map that helps us navigate life. Page 160. Anandamaya Kosha, bliss sheath. This is the innermost layer and the source of pure joy or bliss. Think about how peaceful and happy you feel when playing with your pet, sitting quietly in nature, pursuing your hobbies, singing and listening to songs, helping others or contributing to society. That deep sense of contentment and joy comes from the Anandamaya Kosha. Understanding the 5 koshas shows us how interconnected we are. Yoga is a tool to nurture and balance all these sheaths. By practicing yoga daily, we can improve our focus in school, excel in sports, enjoy our hobbies, and thrive in learning music or art, and hence allowing us to reach our full potential in everything we do. To achieve all-round development, we need to follow a systematic way of practice. Maharishi Patanjali has created this process known as Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, social discipline and ethics. Niyama, personal discipline. Asana, physical postures. Pranayama, regulation of breath. Pratyahara, mastery over senses. Dharana, concentration. Dhyana, meditation. Samadhi, state of ultimate joy and bliss. Page 161. Activity. My daily yoga plan to strengthen the Panchakosha. Create your own daily yoga plan. First, Annamaya Kosha. Write one yoga posture that you will practice each day. Blank. Second, Pranamaya Kosha. Choose a pranamaya that you will do daily. Blank. Third, Manomaya Kosha. List a simple mindful activity like jap, chanting of mantra, trataka, etc. that you would like to practice to be calm and focused. Fourth, Vijnanmaya Kosha. A. Imagine yourself in the future. What kind of person do you want to be? And what skills, values, and qualities will help you get there? B. What small things you do today to start becoming that person? Fifth, Anandamaya Kosha. What gives you a moment of joy? Listening to birds, spending time with friends, helping your dear ones, playing with pets, sharing, etc. Prepare a collage of activities that bring you joy. Note for the teacher. Explain to students how yoga can nourish and balance the Panchakosha through asanas, pranayama, and meditation. Yama and Niyama. Yama and Niyama are golden rules for a balanced and fulfilling life. Just as we follow rules in school, these guidelines cultivate personal growth and harmonious relationships. Yama refers to moral principles guiding our behavior with others, making us more kind, honest, and responsible human beings. Page 162. 5 yamas. First, ahimsa, being kind to all living beings. Second, satya, always telling the truth and being honest. Third, astya, not to take things that belongs to others. Fourth, brahmacharya, having self-control. Fifth, aparigraha, not being greedy. Niyama. Niyama are personal habits that help us to take care of ourselves and transform us into better persons. By following niyamas, we can overcome our limitations. 5 niyamas. First, Sauch, cleanliness. Second, Santosh, being happy and content with what we have. Third, Tapas, self-discipline and determination to achieve. Fourth, Swadhyaya, self-study. Fifth, Ishvara Paranidhana, recognizing the divinity. Fifth, Ishvara Pranidhana, recognizing the divinity. In this grade, let us learn about Ishvara Pranidhana, one of the niyamas. It is about recognizing the divinity within ourselves and surrendering to it. Ishvara Pranidhana is also about seeing our body as a temple and offering everything we do to the divine within us. Our senses, actions, breath, and even our happiness are all part of this offering. It is about recognizing the sacredness inside and around us and being grateful to it. Divinity in all. We usually think place of worship and prayer rooms are sacred, but yoga teaches us that everything is sacred. Pranidhana means seeing the divine in everything: nature, friends, family, and even daily work. Page 163. Let us hear a story which gives us the message of finding divinity in all. A journey of oneness. Guru Nanak was a great spiritual teacher who believed that God is everywhere. One day he was on a pilgrimage to a holy city. Tired from the journey, he laid down to rest. Our devotee saw Guru Nanak and was concerned. "Your feet are pointing towards our holy place of worship," he said. "It's disrespectful." Guru Nanak politely asked the devotee to place his feet where there is no holy place. But no matter which way the devotee moved Nanak's feet, he still saw the place of worship in front of them. Then devotee recognized divinity of Guru Nanak and apologized to him. This story tells us that for Guru Nanak, every place was divine. He believed that God is present in all directions, places, and in all creations. There is an image of Guru Nanak on the right side of the page. Activity. Different communities have different beliefs and traditions. Give some examples of how people perform rituals and explain the reasons behind their actions. For example, harvest festivals are celebrated to thank the earth for good, to thank the earth for food. It shows that earth is alive and deserves our respect. Note for the teacher. Point 1. Encourage the students to take a walk in nature. Let them notice the pretty things around them and understand how everything works together. For example, a tree with birds and small animals on it. Second, students can keep a gratitude journal. Let them list 5 or more things they are grateful for every day.
Khel Yatra. You were just listening to this audiobook. Textbook of Physical Education and Well-being for Grade 7. Narration Mansi Chauhan. Sound Recordist Manju Kumari. Production Assistant Amarjeet Sarkar. Directed and produced by Vimalesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.